Hello, folks. Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna hang on. I'll raise you guys a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna start as well. I know we're a few dates in February, but I'm gonna talk about something that happened while I think of it, You guys, if I repeat a story that I've already told, you have to be polite, not say nothing, and pretend that you haven't heard it before, Because an old man sometimes repeats stories, Okay, here we go. Well, it's slow here in the valley. For you that some of you that know this area, it's called the Ottawa Valley. It's kind of slow work-wise. So, company I'm working for, we do some work in sawmills, And there's one going up the valley. It's called J. Boyle. It's up near Fort Collunge, if you want to locate the area. So, okay, put everything in context. I bought a property on a river, and I want to build a camp. And now we need some wood. Okay, come to think of it, there's another story attached to this camp. Maybe I'll tell it some other time while I think about it, But anyways, okay, so I need wood to build this camp, And so I'm working at I need wood. I'm working at a sawmill, So that didn't really ring a bell at the start, but eventually I'm playing hockey in a local hockey team. Well, at night, and I got to be friends with a guy that was working on. There's two. Okay, in this sawmill, there's two mills. There's a pine mill and a spruce mill. And this guy they call that a scaler. He works on the resaw and stacking at the spruce mill, okay? So this guy, he says, well, we got talking, And, okay, just a note of warning here. I don't want you guys to think of me as a crook, I'm just not one to let advantages slip by without putting a hand on them, And that hat thing again this year, There, it's about center right now, Oops, no, it's because this happens because it's the wrong way. It's like opposite way in the camera, Okay, so this guy, we won't mention his name. He's the scaler, okay, and he's on the buttons, as the boards come by on the on the chains. And then there's saws cutting the lengths, and he's grading these as they come by, with it's the computer, and they're going into their individual slings. And when they get a stack in the slings, like so many, then it drops it on the chains down below, goes to the other end, and then it's wrapped, and it's got a. Well, now these, okay, the wood I was buying, okay, it was cheap. It was, I think in the day it was $200, $200 board foot. No, can't be. It was $200 for a thousand board foot. That's what it is. It was cheap, I know that. Like a whole 48 footer there would have cost me around $400 to buy. But then I had to get a truck to where I wanted to build a camp. That would have cost me more than it would have cost to buy it. So this guy told me, he says, when we get to your order, I'll slip some 1 and 2 into the 4 and 5. Like 4 and 5 are below grade. They're not a construction grade. They're just. But now he was gonna slip some good stuff in there, eh? When I'm supposed to get my order. So okay, so now he was a next door neighbor. We were living in at a place. It was an old lady. She used to have people working in the camps, lumberjack camps, and they'd stay there when on the off season, eh? And a boarding house, eh? And I'm thinking of another story. As things first started to stay there, our week was comprised. We'd get there on Monday morning, and we'd come out on Thursday night was our last day. So it was a short week, eh? That we'd stay there, and we'd travel back home here in Ottawa, and then, some of the guys with us ate so much that she'd increase, almost double the price. But from the start to the time we left there. But anyways, this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the big deal in the wood, eh? Anyways, there was a transport company up there, eh, and I had gone to see them, see how much it would cost me to get the full 48-footer flatbed trucked to the camp, eh, and how much that had cost me, and I knew that. I had prepared, eh? So then I made the neighbor of this place, this boarding house where we stayed, he was the shipper at this mill, eh? So the mill was called J.E. Boyle, which was a division of E.B. Eddie's then. Anyways, which has nothing to do with anything. It's just the name, eh? And we'll call this guy Kenny. It's not his real name, but I know his second name too, eh? But we won't see that here. Anyways, he was supposed to let me know when I'll be up at bat. Well, I don't know what happened, eh? I worked there maybe 6-7 months after this, and I never got my turn at bat. And I know one thing. I heard that Kenny had lost his spot. He was no longer an employee of J.E. Boyle. So he must, there was stories, eh? It was just stories, but there was stories that he got caught in some other, not my dealings, but in some other dealings, and they did some investigating, and he got hoofed out of there. So I just kind of quieted down. I just did my work, and the cheap wood for the camp never got to fruition. I don't know. I thought of that. I said, I'm going to tell them the story. I won't mention no names, though. And this is a true story, eh? But that just goes to prove to you that sometimes, eh, things don't always go your way. But for the meantime, it was kind of interesting and satisfying just to think that I was going to get a trailer, a transport full of number 1, number 2, 3, and 4 and 5. But 4 and 5, that's they make pallets with that, eh? It's not. But I know how I got to get weaseled out of the deal, eh? There's a company that started up in the little town there, and they were making, they call that finger joint. So you could buy, like, let's say a 3x3, no, 2x3, I should say, which is 1.5 inches by 2.5. But they were making, it was the finger joints, eh? It was glued. How they can make a chunk of wood to be glued together, and there's manpower involved in this, and how they can make that cheaper than they can make a normal chunk of wood, I don't know. But that's what they were doing, and they were taking a lot of the number 4 and 5, eh? And so it became that they were shipping everything, and they were probably paying more than the normal pallet market was paying for the spruce. So it became that I didn't get my wood. And the whole deal turned sour, eh? But we worked after that up there, but I never bothered with I think of this place is transport place that I had more or less eyeballed for transport. They were heating with wood in their big garage, transport garage, but they had oil. They were pumping old oil from the trucks, eh, into their fire. There was smoke billowing out of that chimney, man. I guess they weren't too green in those days, and nobody cared, eh? So that's it, folks. We can say this is the first story of a few. February is kind of slow sometimes, eh? When we get to the end of March, things will change and will pick up. I'm kind of in a hurry to get all this stuff out of here, but can't be too much in a hurry, because it won't be for another few months, that's for sure, unless the weather changes, and you never know. So that's it, folks. That's the story for today. Hey, don't tell no one now, eh? There's better ones to come. Okay, folks. And as usual, this is your chance to subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you in the next one.